What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Let's go ahead and start just to get right into it. All right. Just been going and working on some things, and the word consistent came up with credit, and I thought I'd talk about that today. So when it comes to your credit and being consistent, a lot of people have it confused. They think consistent just means paying bills on time. So you got this credit card, or now you got this loan, now you got this auto loan, now you got this 700 plus credit score, or even if you don't, maybe you got 300 and you're just starting out to build your credit and you're paying it on time. People associate paying on time with being consistent. Because I pay it on time, that means it's consistent because I'm doing it every single month. And yes, I mean, in a sense, that's true. You are doing it every month, but in I guess, in the world of being consistent, to me, it's going above and beyond just doing the bare minimum, right? Like the bare minimum to me is like a C. That's like, you don't want your child to go to school and do the bare minimum. Even for yourself, maybe when you're in school, you wanted to excel. For a lot of people, for some, they probably just didn't care about it. But, in a lot of different ways, you don't want to just be average, right? You don't want to just be just mediocre. Who says anything about the mediocre person? You know, how does that make you, or make any person stand out and be excellent, if you're just doing the bare minimum? The minimum is $40 a month on the payments. The minimum is $450 a month on the car loan. That's the minimum, you know, and you're just, I'm just doing that. Like, no, that's something that you have to do. You're doing the bare minimum of consistency, but not on the excellent level of being consistent. And what I mean by that is a lot of different things, and you can write this down if you like to. But when it comes to like being consistent over your credit, knowing when the payments are due, knowing when the reporting dates are due, knowing the ins and outs of how your credit is working and how you can take advantage of that credit card or that loan, understanding the actual interest rates, and knowing what you're paying in interest every day or every month or every week that you decide not to take your money and dump it on that card. Understanding the reward systems that come with your credit card if you have a card, or understanding what happens if you negate on any of those loans you have. If you happen to default, what is the process of what happens on that? Okay, that's understanding and having the education, so that eliminates all of the fear that you have when it comes to something happening detrimental. Okay, the way why people have so much fear about being consistent in an area of their life is because they fear the other side. They fear what can happen, what's the bad side to it. So the only way to eliminate that fear of being consistent is to actually replace it with the understanding of what you're scared of, or what you think that you're scared of. And so you got to know everything. So people get really rowdy about, oh my God, I'm going to miss a payment. Well, do you know what missing a payment is, or what happens if you miss a payment? Because, you could miss a payment and the payment could be due, let's say it's due on the 9th, and now it's the 9th, and now it's the 10th, and oh, I forgot to pay it on the 9th. I'm gonna get a 30-day late. No, you're not. You're not going to get a 30-day late. You only missed it by one day. It hasn't even reported anything yet. You might get a late payment fee, but you're not going to get a late payment. But you would know that more if you actually read more into your actual credit, to have that education, so that way you could be consistent, you know, as far as like, hey, I might need to pay a little bit more on my credit cards because this interest rate I'm paying is more than me holding on to this cash in my bank account for the same amount of time, 30 days, and I already have it to pay it now, or I can double it up and save myself $13 in interest a month. And I can take that $13 in interest a month that I'm saving and maybe buy 2 extra sandwiches if you just wanted to, use the money instead of just bleeding out. You know, if you have the money to pay on that car loan and it's $450 a month, breaking it down to say, okay, $450 is all I have, but I can still chop it up and make $125 payments every week. Because if I paid it once a month, it's killing me by an extra $95 in interest. And I can eliminate that by just, going into understanding the ins and outs of what this loan, what the details of this loans are, what the details of the loans are. Like when it comes to repossessions, people getting repossessions, and I'm not saying that everybody doesn't understand when they get one, but when you buy a car, yourself about buying a car, and I didn't know this either. Like for 99% of people out here who just go out and buy a car, they don't really know all the back end things that can happen when you buy one. When you get a loan, even though it's right there, and I know people sign their papers and all that. I've signed papers too, didn't know what it said and all that in its entirety. But, whether we got thrown off or whatever like that, when it comes to our payments and things like that, we still didn't know exactly how the process was going to happen on the back end because we didn't understand and get that understanding of everything when it comes to our credit. If you want to be consistent in the area, you'll put more time into that area. If a person wants to be more consistent in their relationship, they'll put more time into the relationship. If you want to be more, into your partner, you want to become one, or you want to go and do more things, you'll plan more things out in advance. You'll look up and research more things. If you want to be consistent with your credit, consistent with your credit, you're doing more than just, I got to pay $35 a month. I pay $35 a month. That's not really saying like, hey, I really want this area of my life to be consistent. When you think about consistency in your own life when it comes to things like just, hey, I'm going to go work out every day. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go do just the bare minimum, not if you want to get some results, right? Not the results. If you just want to just kind of, do a little bit here, okay, that's average. But if you want results, you want gains, you want calves, you want buttocks, you want abs, you want, what I'm saying? Like, you going to go hard. Like, you going to do 2-3 hours. You're not going to do no 15 minutes and take some Instagram photos and leave. You're going to go way above, way beyond that. So with being consistent with your credit, do more, research more, put more oomph into that. Like, put stuff on your calendar, make a 2-day alert so that way it reminds you that this is due. Now, for everybody who already has fantastic credit, your credit's great. You're already 700, 750, 800. You're doing fantastic. You're doing well. You're doing fantastic. Okay? But here's the thing. What's the point of having that score? What is the point of having the score? And I know you can't respond right now because I have it where comments off. This is something I don't want you to respond to. I want you to think about, what did you get the score for in the first place? Did you get it just in case? Like an emergency pops up and you're just able to use it? Did you get it to start a business? Now you already have, the business that you want and you've got everything rolling. You've already got a couple of credit cards and loans and things like that. You know, you're paying it on time. Like, have you made it in the credit sense? Like, is that it? You've got the 750, you've got the 800. Is that it? Like, what else is there? You know, what's the next level? Okay, now I'm gonna give you my personal opinion. Okay, this is just personal opinion, so this is not, you know, anything by law. Okay, but having a 750, 800, and 850 and all that, it is fantastic. My opinion about that is that you should not have a 750 or 800 forever. Okay, your score should not stay at 750, 800 for the next 2 years. Even I'm saying you're paying everything off, you're doing everything well, that's great. But you are leaving money on the table. Even if you don't have any skills whatsoever, you can hire these skills by leveraging that credit, getting different businesses, different investments. You can use it to do so many different things, but you are missing out. You're missing a part of income that maybe you didn't know was even available. Okay, there is money available for you. I know you got the house, you've got the Benzes, you've got the Land Rovers, you've got everything. Maybe now, maybe you don't, but I'm talking to people right now who do. You've got everything now. Okay, but there's another level. So if you're just maintaining, if you're just paying the bills, if you're just, or, maybe you're just somebody who just wants to make a lot more money because you make a lot, you like more money. You're leaving credit on the table, especially my business credit clients or business credit future clients. You're leaving money on the table. You're missing money. You're missing cars. You're missing credit cards. You're missing loans that could be put somewhere else, that could be working for you. They could be put somewhere else, and you're missing out. You're missing out. There's money. It's kind of like a person saying there's some government grants out here that you can get, but because you don't apply for them, you can't get them. Basically like that. If you don't know that you can leverage credit in different ways where the risk is so low, but the profit margin is so high, you would not have a 750 because you would be utilizing everybody else's money credit-wise because you don't want to use your cash. You would leverage everybody else's money, the credit-wise, have your cash over here chilling. If you leverage that other credit, your score cannot stay 750, 800 because you're going to be utilizing more of your credit cards. That's going to automatically drop your score, right? So that's why I don't understand what is the purpose of that 800, that 750, if you're not going to leverage it for something in the near future or leverage it for something on a regular basis. That way you take advantage of this system that they have for you to never ever struggle again. Like, you don't have to go back, you don't have to ever have to worry about money, okay? Because you can always access money with your credit. But you got to get consistent with what you want to do. What do you want to do? Just don't have this score to flex on people. Don't have this score just to say you got the score. Do something with that score. Okay? Be consistent with just not just paying your bills. Like, do something else. Leverage it. Show somebody how you took this score and then you help do something. You said you want to change the world. Okay, take that credit card, get another loan. And if you need help, we'll help you here at J Knows Credit. Get you another loan. Okay, take that loan and invest it somewhere. Maybe that feeds the homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, hey, I'm good, I made it. But you say you want to help people. But okay, invest it somewhere to help people. It's not just, oh, you just want to be greedy and have $1 billion in credit cards and loans and stuff. Okay, Use it to help bless somebody then. Use it to help bless somebody who's always wanting to get a food truck then. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something with it. If you say you're going to be consistent, you want to be consistent in your credit, you want to be consistent in your life, you want to be consistent, you want to give consistently, you give to your church, you give to different things. Hey, consistency in all areas of your life. If you say you want to be consistent, be consistent. There's something you can do in your credit consistently. Get organized. Get organized. You shouldn't even be missing payments. Put alerts in your calendar so you don't miss payments. You shouldn't even be worried about the bill if you got your finances in order. If you're planning out your money, be consistent with knowing where your money is going. Write out where your money is going. There's still millions of people right now on YouTube, right now, who still have not written out what they make and what they pay. Write it out. Put down what you make and what you pay. If you want to be consistent, oh, I got this much money extra, I can dump on my credit cards. And maybe if I put this on my credit cards, I can pay off this loan in 8 months previously than I had before. Be consistent. Be consistent with what you want to do. What you give more time to is what you truly want to be consistent at. Okay? But put that time in. Put that time in to this credit journey. Put that time in. Like, if it's coming into reading books or watching more YouTube, put that consistent time in, and you're going to reap the benefits. You're going to reap everything that you want credit wise and financial wise. Okay? But consistently right now, this credit may change a little bit in the future. And that's why I'm saying you want to be consistent with knowing what's going on, because when they make changes, you don't want to be surprised when changes happen. You want to know and not just be reactive once they do it. Okay? But in this credit world right now, we have to do a little something different that most credit card companies are not going to do for you. They're not going to show you and break down what you're going to pay over time with compound interest, what they're going to make. Only time they're going to show you that is with that house. But if you want, you can go get you a compound calculator, or actually go to Google and actually Google the compound calculator and see what that $5,000 debt looks like if you paid that minimum payment every single month, or you paid $10 extra every single month. See how long it's going to take you to pay it off, and see if just being average consistent is what you want. Even if you got a big house and you make a lot of money, you got 750, 800 credit score, and your mortgage is $2,500 to $3,500 to $5,000 a month for that big edifice you have. Okay? But now look at all those credit cards. Now look at all those other loans, you know, and look at what you got. And if you just paid that minimum, you're on a higher level though, but you paid that minimum, still 80% of that is going towards just the interest. So just being that mediocre consistent, it isn't going to do it. It's not going to cut it. It's not. They're not going to break it down to you. Oh, if you miss this, and oh, you know, that daily calculator of what you got to pay. Oh my God. That daily interest of what you got to pay is crazy. It is ridiculous. So we want to level up. If you want to level up, you got to pay more attention. You got to put more of your time and energy into this credit space. I promise you, if you do, everything you want to be paid off will be paid off faster. Everything that you want to invest in and how you want to bless somebody, like how you want somebody else's life to change because, you know, maybe you're just a giving person and you want to give them. Hey, you can use your credit to give. I'm telling you, Leverage your credit. Leverage your credit. You're going to hear me say that probably a gajillion times if you're subscribed to my channel, okay? But just know that it's to help you. If you're leveraging your credit, hey, you're doing what the country and everybody else is doing that understands that credit is queen. And that's the way to attain, you know, the life, or, you know, just you know, a sacrificial life. If you're just a person who just wants to just give and just leave this world empty, like I do, want to leave this world empty, okay? Always want to be giving and giving and giving and giving and blessing and giving and giving, okay? You have to take this thing seriously and invest that time into your credit, all right? But thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay consistent with your credit. And if you need our services, we'll be here at J Knows Credit. All right. See y'all soon.